God. Wow. It's like getting shot out of a cannon. It's because it's the Metal Inquisition, right? What else would you expect? It's Pile Driver getting it done on a Friday afternoon. Wow. Oh, that'll work up a thirst. Cheers, my friends. These guys are outrageous. Wow. Yeah, you get the idea. When Death by Guillotine's the chorus. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Kind of mellow down a bit for a minute here. Get me all fired up. Pile Driver. Yeah, I featured Pile Driver. That was in my vinyl tag for the great Rob Walker. Colton, cheeky bastard. He's in my seat. Colton, what terrible manners. You can sit with me. Oh, or not. Yeah, so I had that as my Pile Driver. Let me show it one more time. This is just like a work of art, like the Mona Lisa, man. Look at that, right? So yes, if you do have that album, chime in the comments and let me know. I could be wrong. Anyway, what are we up to today? So just a Friday cheers, like I said. And I was going to run through just, I make these playlist videos once in a while. I haven't done that in a while. Or I just kind of show what I've been listening to kind of, you know, the past 7 or 8 days, whatever. I don't have a spreadsheet like Steve over at All the World's a Stage, but, you know, I got a little notebook and stuff. So, you know, I got a calculator. All right. So, yeah. So a new channel to me, that's what you get when you watch all the vinyl tag stuff with Rob Walker. Great questions this year, by the way, Rob. And I discovered a new channel called B-Sides. So it's B-E-A Sides. I will leave a link to her channel. I think I only watched her first video with the, well, not first video, but her vinyl tag. And I think her husband's in some of the videos, but I've only watched the one video so far. So I'll have to dig a little deeper. But she showed this album. Yes, it's the second album by the Chameleons. She showed this as her album. You had to show a band from Manchester for Rob. No one wants to see your ass, Colton. And so it's called What Does Anything Mean, basically. So I hadn't listened to it in a while. And those of you that watch my channel know I just love those first and only 3 studio albums that they did. And I hadn't listened to this in a while. It's the most mellow of the 3 in my mind. But it's just from Silence, Sea, and Sky, and instrumental at the beginning, it just flows right through. It's brilliant. So yes, B-Sides over there. Check out her channel. All right, and just for giggles, this song is a 12-inch single for Singing Rule Britannia. Yeah, there it is. And that closes out side 1 on that Chameleons record. And so again, here's just a 12-inch single. British import right there. So yeah, it's... yeah, and there's a live version on here too, right there. You can see in the embedded hype thing. All right, what else did we listen to this week? Yeah, little pop reggae with my man Eddie Grant. It's no Electric Avenue, but this is pretty good. A little too synthy for my liking. This was the follow-up he did to the album. I can't even think of the name, but you know, but the hit on it was Electric Avenue. Doesn't matter. And the name of this one is Going for Broke. So there he is. Doesn't look broke to me. He's on a nice beach leaning against that palm tree. So Romancing the Stone was a big single on this, but really fun track on here. Political bossa. Yeah, that's a good fun track. That'll fill up the dance floor at a wedding. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. At a wedding reception. So here's a little more 80s for you. Just kind of pop rock. Sounded like they were from England, but they're from the States. And it's The Book of Love. Lead-off single on this one was a track called Modigliani. Just really pleasant. Nothing super great. I think they only did this one, self-titled, from 1986. Yes, and I think they were on Sire. Yeah, you can see there. There's the Sire logo. I always like that. Yeah. So anyway, that's The Book of Love. The Book of Love. There's Colton knocking stuff over. Oh, God, he gets out of control at parties. All right. So here we go. This was a Christmas gift this year. Keen, their debut, Hopes and Fears. what can I say that hasn't already been said about this? Brilliant Brit pop record. 3-piece band. I think they've expanded to a 4-piece now. They actually added a bass player. At this point, there was no guitars in this band, just a really wild keyboard player, a drummer, and lead vocalist whose name escapes me. I should have looked that up before I did the video, but this is spontaneity at its finest here. So there's beautiful gatefold of the band. There's the lead singer right there. Look up any clips of them live on the festival circuit in England in the early 2000s. So the story behind this one, Colton, you're terrorizing the place. It's like having a little child, right? That's what Patty says about me. Anyway, so this record has a lot of meaning, actually, not to get all kind of cornball, but when this came out in the summer of 2004, our daughter was born. 3 months later, we moved to the States with a job transfer. And then 3 years later, we were in California, and then we were back here again. It's a whirlwind, but I'm back staying in 2004 for this one. So I had a burned CD copy from a work colleague. We were still living in Ontario. And so that's all I had. And then so we moved to Massachusetts the first time. And the house we had was a fixer-upper, and I did a lot of the fixer-uppering, whatever. I renovated the house. So stripping, wallpaper, painting, all that crap. So anyway, I played that over and over again on this little boombox I had. And the funny thing, after I renovated this house, this boombox was just trashed, paint splatter all over it. Here's Colton again. So anyway, yeah, so I played this over and over again. So it takes me back. I can't believe it, it'll be 20 years this summer that our daughter's born, and she's a freshman in college, going back this weekend. Yes, she is. So anyway, that's Keen, Hopes and Fears, their debut. A little jazz for Gary over at Physical Format. This is Jerry Mulligan Quartet from 1959. Not sure of the other players who were in the quartet at this point, but this is just a brilliant record. What's the big one on here? My Funny Valentine. They just do a terrific version of that. Of course, on Columbia, very young Jerry Mulligan. He's no longer with us, of course. And that's on there. Look at that sleeve on the Columbia 6i right there. Pretty cool. So that's Jerry Mulligan. What is there to say? What is there to say, really, right? Yeah. Say cheers. It's Friday, right? All right, let's back in there, you. Yeah, right on. There's the band on the back there. Right on. Okay. What is there to say? Well, I'll say, hey, cheers to Isaac Hayes, right? So, yes, he's the Black Moses right here. This is, I think, from 1973, 74. Really good. Just arrangements on this one. What would I rank on here as my number one track? Oh, it's annoying. They don't list the songs. Remember this. And this is a double album. I only listened to one album through this week when I was going through these. There's a couple of Burt Bacharach numbers on here that he gives his own workout to. They Long to Be Close to You. That's a good version right there. Track 2. I don't know that label, Enterprise, but yeah, so that's, there he is. Otherwise known as Chef on South Park even, right? And it's the great Isaac Hayes. Brilliant musician. Yeah, Stax Records, man. That was a label to be worshipped. Great artists on that label. Anyway, another guy that entered my contest that I'm going to get to in a minute, my friend Greg over at 3 Dimensions of Music. He had some really, really thoughtful words about his wife, Brenda, and I immediately thought of this album. This is, I think, their debut. They're not a blues band. This is just like weird, alternative, garage, Colton, chill out. And I don't know how to describe it. You really got to listen to this to get a grip on, see what it is. I don't know. It's like if Beck was involved in it, maybe with loud guitars. But anyway, track 8. See the reflection right there. And it's called Brenda, right? So anyway, yeah, really cool. There's the band on the inside. Yeah, this is not easy listening. It's fun listening, though. It's the John Spencer Blues Explosion. Yeah, just self-titled debut there. Anyway, Brenda. Yeah, that's how the chorus goes. Greg, you got to go and check that song out if you don't know it and sing it to your wife. Brenda. All right, enough of that. Down to Australia we go. Yes, to Sydney, Australia. The opposite of where Ben Rankins lives, the other side of the country. So there was another channel, my friend John D at Down Under Tunage. John hasn't made video in a while. I hope everything's going all right with him, or it's just life's getting in the way. Come back, John. I miss you, man. So one of the first channels I watched, he should have more subscribers, man. So big shout out to John. I hope you're still watching videos. I know you're not making them, but maybe you will with this prompt. So anyway, he recommended this one a couple of years ago, and I was at a record show, and I'm like, holy crap, there it is, Cheetah. So if you like the first Pat Benatar album, or maybe some early Joan Jett, this is really in your wheelhouse. It's two sisters that sing, and then they got a 5-piece band right behind them. Really awesome. It's called Rock and Roll Women, and that's what they are. I mean, holy shit. The title track, it's actually called Rock and Roll Woman in the singular. Let the Love Begin actually verges on boogie rock like Foghat. I mean, it's really good. So check this out. If what I said is in your wheelhouse, you will dig Cheetah. Take a trip down under. All right. Oh, yes. So then I was watching JT's Record Room. He just got back from a cruise. He was down in the Caribbean, out of South Florida. And he was in West Palm Beach, and he was in this record store. And he picked up this album, right? Shout out to JT's Record Room. Awesome, awesome guy. Knows his stuff. He's a musician himself. Was. But anyway, he bought this album, and I'm like, hey, I haven't listened to this in a while. So that's sometimes if I'm watching a video, someone like, hey, when I'm done the video, I'll go and listen to it. And that's what I did here. Chris Spedding on guitar on this one. Special guest right there. There he is in the back. There's Brian Ferry down in front. Yeah, I mean, they do an Everly Brothers cover. He does an Everly Brothers cover on here. The Price of Love, that's really awesome. Shame, 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 Casanova, and of course, kicks it off with Let's Stick Together, the title track right here. So that's Brian Ferry right there. The year of the release on this one, 1976 on Atlantic. Oh, right on. All right, friend of Belinda right here, right? It's Jane Weedland. You can see on the back there. Yes, it's Jane right there. So I was up to my friend Gambler812, you know, Anthony here in Massachusetts. I did that video. I went over to his house. He had a big box from a collection of stuff he didn't want, and I went through it, and this was one of the things I grabbed, this promo 12-inch single for Jane Weedland, Blue Kiss. Really awesome. I already have the full-length album, but I like 12-inch singles, and this is good. They don't remix it, but there's a bonus track here called 100 Years of Solitude that's actually really good. If she had Susie in the band, she's band behind her on that B-side, I'd say she would have made a good goth princess back in the 80s right there. The beautiful Jane Weedland, right, from 1985. Colton, geez, bud, take it easy. It's just the vinyl community, man. Settle down. There on IRS right there, right? Yeah, Jane. All right, so Jane Weedland. All right, and that's going to do it. So, yeah, so what else we got here? Chit-chat, chit-chat. All right. All right. So, yes, finally. Having a contest, and it's my annual funding drive. I've kind of adopted that. Jeff Witcher, if you haven't gone over and checked out his video he made to enter my contest, it's terrific. It's the Academy, he needs to be recognized for his editing skills. I'm going to keep saying that. Just like I'm going to keep saying I'm having a contest, and I'm going to keep saying it till February 14th. All right, I've already got several entries here. Let me just get my trusty notebook out here. So yeah, I got, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And coming in just in the last 15, 20 minutes, my friend Curtis Young over at Young LP Lovers. I haven't watched it yet, Curtis, because I was just sitting down to make this video, and I got an alert. So yeah, cheers in advance, my man. So yeah, and I actually, Curtis's channel was one of the 3 channels. Again, back to the Rob Walker tag. I was like, hey, go check this guy out. He's great on the East Coast of Canada. Super, super deluxe right there. So anyway, I'm having a push to 1 million subscribers. And, you know, I need your help, right? This is not going to happen on its own, people. So just like PBS, call now, or instead of call now, make a video, man, and let me know. So, yeah, so let's just run through these. You know what? Technically, it's actually 13. So let me go here. Coming in hot right at the get-go. I had Josh, JC, Josh Castro, it's for his last name. I'm not going to guess. It's just JC. So Josh at the flip side did a great video. It was the very first one. Then coming in right behind was Chris Profi. He's still musically obsessed, making lots of great videos. Chris put a great entry in there. And we got Jack at the Vinyl Martini. Joe at Racer Records, new channel. He's up in Saskatchewan, speaking of Canada. Really entertaining guy, made a great video. My friend Fitz, Electric Bar over in Vancouver. Excellent story. He told about when he got married. So the contest is this, I should tell you real quickly. It's to do with a wedding reception. So Patty had this idea, and I'll leave my launch video in the description as well, so you know what the hell I'm talking about. Pick 3 songs that you think are great at wedding receptions, right? I don't care if it's the bird dance, something, a memory you have, it could be your own wedding, right? So like into my friend Fitz at Fitz Electric Bar, he talked about, he was living in Japan at the time. Him and his wife, they celebrated getting married. They went to see Bob Dylan at the Budokan, but he was quick to note that it wasn't the one from the live album, but still it was pretty cool to see him in that venue. So that was a really wonderful story. And then Greg at 3 Dimensions of Music, who I mentioned earlier, he's married to Brenda. Yes. And really great, thoughtful video there again. And then we got Steve at All the World's a Stage. Excellent work again, as usual, by Steve. You know, the great Matthew Street, he came in and he actually performed a wedding ceremony in the video. That was outstanding. And I mentioned Down Under. Well, we got my friend Keith. He's actually in New Zealand. And his channel is called Attack from Down Under with an A on the end. Instead of under, it's under. So I'll leave a link to all of these contest entries in the description below. These are all great examples of what Patty and I were looking for in the contest, right? So, of course, right after Keith, I got Gary at Physical Format. Oh, I almost said jazz. I meant format, Physical Format rock and roll, right? Got it. And then I got a new channel to me, guy just down the road, 95 South. He's down in Rhode Island. My friend, another Mike. So Steve Carlson said the Steves were going to take over the mics now, but there's another Mike, Steve. So watch out. We're a force to be dealt with, all the mics. So his channel's called For the Record. And lastly, like I said, Curtis Young over at Young LP Lovers. He's all in too. So holy moly, we're off to a wicked start. So it was 7 days ago today, Patty and I launched the contest. So here we are again on a Friday. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up, folks. So I will wish you well, and I will see you next time. And don't forget to let me know in the contest launch video, actually, if you've put up a video, and I'll be looking. Have a great one.